Cheers and welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. Yes, this is the ultimate, that's right, ultimate craft beer festival survival guide. If you're going to the Great American Beer Festival, yeah, that's like 3 days. This will help. That's right, this will help. I promise. 15, I know that seems like a lot, but like I said, it is the ultimate survival guide. And although I figured out pretty much all of these on my own, I had some other people that go to a lot of craft beer festivals, even more than me, kind of verify some of the stuff. And I was like, got it, almost forgot it, got it. So we're gonna go over 14 standard tips with one being hardcore. That's right, hardcore. I know I'm gonna get comments. I know I'm gonna get some Karens, I don't know. Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, that hardcore one helped me a lot on both of the last two craft beer festivals I went to. So without further ado, let's jump right into this. Number one, well, this one's gonna be a double-edged sword. First, don't buy your tickets online too early. I know you're like, what? Usually there's a cutoff for the discount, okay? So you wanna get close to that cutoff before you buy your tickets. What I've found, and I almost bought some tickets and then wasn't going to be able to use them. Some of these things you can buy 3-6 months in advance. You don't know what's going on that far out. And you know, if you can guarantee you're gonna have the time off, nothing else is going on in life, you know, everything's calm, quiet, and will stay that way, then you're great. I like to wait until the last minute, get them to get a discount. I have forgotten once and had to pay a little higher, but I didn't pay at the door, so I still saved a little bit of money. But the later you can wait, the better. Number two, VIP or not to VIP. Last two festivals I went to, the VIP is definitely worth it. There usually isn't a big cost difference for some events with the VIP. Otherwise, yeah, or other areas and other events, sometimes it's a huge difference. And I'm like, you know, like promising me special food, but they don't tell you what the food is. Now, I will say some will guarantee, you know, certain types of bathrooms, which that might be a nice thing to have, a very clean bathroom instead of some porta potty. Parking, there's one in St. Augustine, Florida. Parking is atrocious down there. So not having to walk like 4 miles, 2 miles, whatever it may be, or getting there super early to find a parking spot, yeah, that might be worth it too. And that was one of the ones I didn't feel like the VIP was worth it, with the exception of the parking, because they mentioned food and stuff that didn't say what it was. And I'm like, great, what are we gonna have? Pizza? You know, I can't do cheese, that's not gonna work. So yeah, that's number two, VIP or not to VIP. Why do you want VIP on number two? If you can get it and it's worth it, it usually allows you early access. This is key for me. I need that early access if possible, especially since I go around and film, but there's another thing you're going to want to do that I'm going to mention in another tip. Also, exclusive access to certain beers. Now, I will say, if you get general admission and you get in at a certain time, a lot of times those are still available if they're not in a special tent. That's the key, is sometimes VIP has a special tent, and without the little VIP pass, you're not getting in, you're not even getting access to those beers. So yeah, you know, VIP or not the VIP, the early access is great. Number three, no pregame. You heard me, no pregame. Do not drink before going to a beer festival. Bad. Now, if it's morning, you got a problem. If it's afternoon, just don't. Trust me, you got to be ready. It's kind of like going in the game, stretching, getting ready. You need to be ready. You know what I'm saying? You want to enjoy the event, but you also want to be able to kind of keep the endurance level there. Number four, this is huge and people don't think about it. Have a decent breakfast. Now, if it's a late afternoon or early evening craft beer festival, have a really nice, you know, lunch. Just, you know, you're not trying to stuff yourself. Just have a decent breakfast or lunch. Have some food on your stomach. You're not going in there and trying to drink on an empty stomach. Do not recommend. Number five, this should go without saying, have a designated driver. Now, if you have a designated driver that's coming to the event, you're gonna have to pay for them. But some events actually have a either free or like a $10 deal or something stupid, so that the people coming in that are not gonna get to drink have a special armband. They can enjoy the food, they can enjoy the water. At the last one I went to, it had some cool coffee. They can have the coffee, they can have pretty much everything but the alcohol, or sometimes CBD, THC, all that other stuff. So yeah, have a designated driver. If you don't, like my wife comes and picks me up, drops me off, the whole thing, call an Uber. Just be smart. You may feel okay, but call an Uber. Just unless you had like one little sip early in the morning, you've been there all day and haven't had anything else, that's your call. Number six is huge. If you saw my last video, you definitely understand why. Arrive reasonably early. I was, I think, only 20 or 30 minutes early, and I was 20 or 30 minutes early, and there was like a 20-minute line in front of me, and I was in the VIP. The previous year, the VIP was like super short. This one was very long and getting longer by the second when I was standing there. So you want to get there early. If you're going general admission, you definitely want to be there early, because otherwise you're definitely going to be somewhere towards the very end of the line. Number 7, this is why you want to get there early. Scope out the beers that interest you and you want to sample. I'm not saying drink. So when you first get there, especially with the VIP, this is what I do. I walk around and I look at all the beers. And if you're not really good at memory, I'm not, take a photo with your phone, the ABV and what it is. If you want, write it down. That's not me, but you want to check out the ABV. Also, while you're doing it, scoping out the food, the snacks, things that interest you, because that's part of one of the steps. You're gonna want some food. You're gonna want some snacks. I mean, you're sitting there drinking beer. Yeah, you just gotta keep that in mind. Number 8, and this is it. We're gonna start drinking. That's right, number 8. That was 7 tips already, and we hadn't even hit the beer. So number 8 is start drinking strategically. You heard me. Start your sampling strategically. That means, start with light colored, low ABV, low IBU. Be careful with the sours. Sometimes a low ABV sour is like just as strong in flavor as a high IBU or a high alcohol or, that Baltic porter. It can overpower, and you're going to have problems rinsing that out unless you go eat maybe a pretzel or some crackers. And there's people who bring crackers with them. A couple I saw on YouTube that carry little pretzel bracelets or necklace, and they nibble all day. Whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, scope out what you're going to drink before you start drinking. That way you can see everything that's available, and you can start on the low ABV. That's right. So when you start drinking, you're going to go low ABV, light beers, keep it simple, and work your way up. While you're working your way up, number 9, you saw this coming. Pace yourself. That's right. It's not a drinking contest. Take your time, enjoy the event, talk to people, see what's going on. If it's a beer you really like, ask the brewery questions. If it's a brewery you haven't been to that might be in your neck of the woods or near you, ask them questions. Where are you? Hey, I didn't know you were, where you are. Oh, we've been here for 2 years. You're like, wow, I do that all the time. It happens. So yeah, okay. Pace yourself. Number 10. Yes, I got a glass. This is my glass from last year. So remember, you don't have to have them fill the glass. You can say, hey, can you give me a half glass? Or hey, don't fill it. Keep it somewhere in the modest. If it's one you just want to sample, or you're looking to hit a lot of them. So, keep it on the moderate side, and that way you're not drinking a full glass every time or close to full, because some of them will fill it almost all the way up. So yeah, you don't have to fill the glass. Number 11, in that same thought, and this was something somebody told me and I thought about and almost forgot, was dump it out. If you don't care for it, you take a sip and you're like, that's not really my thing, or, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have asked for this. This is a little rough. Not every beer is liked by every single person. I mean, it's just the way it is. So yeah, pour it out. Number 12, and hopefully this one is like an obvious one. I don't know if I did it the first year. Drink water. That's right. Stay hydrated. Drink water. I know you're drinking a lot of liquid. Drink some water. Just do it for me. Number 13, and this is one I do it in phases. Eat, okay? Get a meal or a snack or both throughout the event. That's right, throughout the event. And relax, sit down, enjoy your, So what I usually do is I usually get like a big old pretzel or something, and I may share it with my son if he was there. That was the first year. That's my snack. That's like midway through or close to midway through. And then I'm gonna sit down, and I already know what I want for, my meal. But I've already spotted something out, and that's exactly what I'm gonna go get. I'm gonna sit down, enjoy that, and I'm gonna get a nice glass of beer, sample. And that's gonna go with my finish out, my meal. I'm enjoying myself. Usually I get like a nice German beer just to finish. I know it's a little lighter, but it goes good with usually most of the food. And someone's coming to get me. Hey, I'm eating, come get me whenever you get here. And I'm chilling, relaxing. She's like, hey, I'm 5 minutes out. I'm like, okay. I walk over near where the people are getting in cars, and I'm good. So number 14, this goes back to what I just said. Number 14 is a little bit of a repeat. You've been drinking all day. Get a ride home. Don't forget that. I mean, just don't drive. Just get an Uber or whatever. If you were the designated driver, great. But get a ride home. If you were the designated driver and you've been drinking, call an Uber. Okay, number 15. This one's the hardcore. This is the one that I'm expecting some Karens and some comments, good, bad, and different, but I'm gonna tell you it's here and it works. Just like people who do eating competitions, they prepare. I used to be in broadcasting and people used to do those old handathons. The people who actually did the 100 hours or whatever it was to hold on to that thing, even before they limited them to 100 hours, they didn't just come running out onto the field. No, they were preparing for this thing months and months in advance. And I'm not saying you have to prepare for this months in advance, but if you have a very low, tiny body weight, you're SOL, I'm sorry. Sorry. And statistically speaking, I don't know if it's the body size, the muscle, whatever, muscle mass, but men usually do a little bit better at tolerating alcohol than women. Sorry, just is what it is. But you can build a tolerance. That's right. So if you've ever watched a lot of history, you'll find out that Winston Churchill supposedly was a functioning alcoholic, which means he was drinking all day long and still able to function. Yeah, he had a war going on. I can't imagine the stress. But I'm not saying get drunk every night. But if you're that person who has a Bud Light once a month, you've got a lot of work. If you're somebody like me that might have 1 or 2 beers on a night, I start with something light, have something a little moderate, or even a heavy once in a blue moon. Like tomorrow night, we're having 11% or double bock. It's 32 ounces. I'm sharing it with my son. He's coming over. That's it. We're done. I mean, we're done. It's an amazing double bock I got recently from a local place. But what you can do is if you're that person who drinks 1 or 2 beers on the weekend, first few, literally 4, 5, 6 days before, build that tolerance. I know, I'm going to get some flack for this one. Have 2 or 3 beers in a night. Spread them out. I'm not saying go home and get drunk. I'm definitely not saying that. Just have a little more and get where you go, I'm feeling a little tipsy. You don't have to finish it. I know you might have just poured it. Let it go. Don't buy the expensive stuff. Just let it go. Build that tolerance. Get to 3 or 4 beers in an evening. I'm not saying to stay there. You're going to get, trust me, and it's not good for you. But before the craft beer festival or beer show or beer event, whatever you want to call it, that day you go there, your tolerance is going to be a lot higher than it normally is. And you're going to be able to enjoy yourself a little more. My thing is if you start getting a buzz, go sit down and eat, get some water. Just remember, your body can only process so much alcohol per hour, and maybe you've hit your limit. Maybe your tolerance just isn't there. If you start feeling better and you definitely have someone to drive you home and you're not like a mean drunk or something, and there's that 1 or 2 you really want to try, just go to get a little sample, tiny sample, you know what I mean? That way you feel good, because you're not gonna, and don't do this either. I probably should have put this as tip 16. I don't care what you pay for the tickets to go there, okay? And it's an event. It's not, hey, how many beers can I drink for that amount of money to make sure I got my dollar's worth or my money's worth. This isn't the buffet where you want to sit there breakfast, lunch, and dinner and they've been like, hey, you've been here all day, you need to go. So yeah, moderation. And I kind of said that in another one, so that's not another tip. 15, hardcore, like I said, build your tolerance. Yeah, if you're that one a month beer guy, you got some work to do. But hey, cheers. I appreciate you. Enjoy. If you've gone to a beer festival, put it in the comments. If you've never been to one, yeah, you're missing out. It's very cool. Last year was amazing here, or actually it was this year. Previous year was much smaller, same place, just it did better this year. Cheers.